Tough loss. I mean, it's, obviously we're in a little bit of uncharted territory. Big picture, we haven't been in a situation like this playing from behind in several years. And then obviously couple that with the great start that we had this season, where we had the best start in school history and CU and this and that, and that feels like years ago. But that's the, kind of the hardest part about this. But, at the same point in time, this is our fourth one-possession game in a row, and we've lost all four of them. But, going into this game, as we kind of evaluated after the Sacramento State game on Saturday night and looking at just cold-blooded stat, why have things changed? We started the year 9-1, and then in the second 10 games, which we just finished right now, we told the guys, hey, at the end of the second 10 games, depending upon tonight's result, we'll be 2-8 or 3-7. No matter what, unacceptable. Especially when you start 9-1, right? It's just not good. And why is that? And great kids, great effort, great character. We've proven we're good enough to beat. The CU quad one win. There had been a quad one win in our league in a long time. We could have, should have. Like I talked to Texas Tech coaches yesterday. Like, man, you guys should have beat us. That team might win a national championship. So it's there. It's there. But if we played Texas Tech or CU right now, it would not be the same result. They just wouldn't. But what changed from 9-1 to now 2-8? And going into today's game, really simple. Forget the scout, this, that. Like, we got to focus on us. Like, what has changed? And we looked at it, and really three things we focused on. One, we started every game down 15-0. And what I mean by that is, in league play only, we have turned into the most fouling team in the league. Like, in all the analytics, we are dead last in terms of fouling. Fouling equates to free throws, right? And then on the flip side, we're dead last in getting free throws. And that actually came out tonight too. But it's like we're literally, when you can't get to the free throw line, but you foul and get teams, you're literally going to walk in every game down 10-0, 15-0, whatever it is. So that was one thing. The second thing, more pressing, was the rebounding. We out-rebounded, again, this seems a long time ago, out-rebounded one of the best teams in America, Texas Tech, by 10. We out-rebounded CU, who is really good and enormous. Again, they start 6'11", 6'10", 6'10". We out-rebounded those guys by 12. So against the Big 12 teams, the high major teams, we've been this elite rebounding team. And for whatever reason, same players, once we started Big Sky play, it fell off a cliff. That plus 10, plus 12 went to plus 3, plus 6, plus 2, 0, minus 15 at Portland State. And then even against Sacramento State. Even. So we're like, look, because we can't rebound and we're fouling, these are huge issues. And the third issue was our first half defense to our second half defense. Elite first half defense. And you go back through it, I got stuff written down. And we made the guys write it down as well. It's like we hold the team to 28 in the first half. The same team comes out in the second half, they go from 28 to 48, 32 to 52. Like, there have been multiple plus 20 jumps in the second half. And I can't wrap my head around that. Again, it's on me, it's always on the coach. But we said, guys, we need to rebound better, we need to stop fouling, and we need to show up defensively in the second half. So the positive Pete part of me, we out-rebounded these guys by 19 tonight. We haven't seen that in a month, right? We had 47, they had 28. So, growth. We still can't get to the free throw line, but they got 16 for 21, had to foul a little bit late. Pretty much kept them under 20 free throws. That's a big difference than 35, 40 free throws. Progress. They scored 36 in the first half. They scored 37 in the second half. Only one more point. And we outscored them in the second half. And again, just in the league, we have been literally plus 20, plus. It's crazy when you look at it. Our first half, the opponent's first half score and their second half score. Forget what we score, right? What they scored in the first half and the second half, it has been, and that's why I told the guys, hey, not only is it on me, I should be the one accountable for it, because whatever changes this team, it's on the head coach. So I'm actually really proud of the guys tonight. I hate to lose. I can't stand it. I won't sleep tonight. I haven't slept in a month. It's been the most miserable month in the winning and losing way since I've been here. But not from a character standpoint. These are great kids, and they show up every day. They're working hard. We've proven we can be good, right? Like if we're just 2-8 team, just got a bad team, right? We're not a bad team, but we've gone through a weird stretch, and so I'm really proud of the guys that they responded tonight, did a bunch of good things. It really boiled down to we got great looks, especially in the first half, like 27 points at halftime. We just couldn't score, and that's the biggest thing. So, yep, we're disappointed. Yep, I am. Is bewildered a word? Bewildered. We're 1-6 in the league. I am bewildered that a 9-1 team went to 2-8. I'm the head of the snake, so I'm accountable. It's on me. But at the same point in time, I'm perfectly fine with that. But I know how hard these guys are working. I know that the preparation was good. I knew this was a disaster of a scheduling game. We have no control over it. It's the third game in 5 days. We left Wednesday morning, went to 2 different states, got back at 5 o'clock last night. They got here before we did. They had 1 game. They didn't play Thursday. They were home all week in Bozeman, sleeping in their beds. They played 1 game Saturday night. They flew out here and beat us out here in terms of the travel. That's not an excuse, but it's a disaster. Sometimes in scheduling you get the good break, sometimes you get the bad break. And that's where you could see how tired these dudes were tonight. 3 D1 games in 5 days when you couple in the road, and we don't charter. So it ain't like you played a game like, I was talking to my buddy in the Mountain West, my best friend Sundance, and calling me Sunday morning because they got beat at Fresno. He's like, hey, how you doing? I said, hey, Sonny, and that's my college roommate. I said, hey, the only difference between me and you right now is I bet you're in your house. Because they played it Saturday as well. He started laughing. He said, yep, I'm in Laramie. I said, I'm in the Sacramento airport staring at fog because there's massive delays. And when you have to travel all day long on the road and you had 5, it's going to be hard. So I'm going to keep it easy on the guys. They played hard. We had no legs. And again, it's not an excuse. We could have won the game, but it's dark times. But at the same point in time, 9-1 to 2-8, we got to find a way to flush to 2-8, and our third season starts on Saturday. And the true test of anybody is how you respond to a challenge. That is character. And this is a challenge right now. There's no, we always, you get down 18, you say, hey, guys, there's no 18-point play. You just got to 2 at a time with it, right? There's no 5-win victory. It's not like we would, we are 1-6. So we just got to chop through this thing one piece at a time, keep fighting. But I'm actually really proud of the dudes. No complaints.
Coach, you named one of the problems rebounding. And it's good to see that they're finally kind of climbing back. You see the presence coming back within the rebound category. But I believe there's also a situational rebounding where, you do look like you out-rebound on the stat sheet and everything like that. But it looks like towards the end game when there's a lot of missed shots and from Montana State. And they're getting by Ring or they're getting by Bloch. Not to put those guys in those scenarios, but it just seemed like yes, it's great to see it on the stat sheet, but then when it gets towards the end game, how does that make you feel within it? And where did you see that?
It's a great observation, and we totally failed about the last 4 minutes. We got stops. To finally start scoring a little bit, right? And literally, I think one possession, they get 2 or 3 in a row. Yeah. And the clock is not your friend when you're down. And you're absolutely right. We didn't get it done. And so, there's signs of growth. But, yeah, it certainly wasn't perfect. And great, they had 5 offensive rebounds all night. But you're right, they had 3 or 4 of those in the last 2 minutes. And so that's right. That's absolutely right. And so that part is disappointing.
Another thing is I believe another problem, I could be wrong, but it's a momentum swing. You guys come back in this. I was talking to Brock actually, and Zach.
Sure.
And they come into the second half, and you guys go on, I believe it's a 9-point run or 10-point run in the second half. Where you guys go on a little bit of a press defense, and then you guys also go up a little bit more in points. But then it starts to fall. Then it starts to a little bit of crumble. Has that been a problem as well with the momentum swing, as you guys aren't catching on to this fire a little bit, where we're so used to seeing it start in the first half, and then it continues into the second half. But now it's 3 minutes into the first half, and then it's at the 8-minute mark in the second half. And it's very parted out.
Yeah, and really, it's a great question. The first half, we started good. We were up 10-2, I think, 10, something like that. And then when we got to about 20 points, we just got stuck in the mud. And here, the reality situation with the way that we're built, our roster constructed, teams that switch us give us problems. And teams that double the post give us problems. Like, it's no secret that's a recipe to give yourself the best chance to beat the Bears. You just switch everything, and then when they get the ball in the post, double the Bears. And there's still solutions for that. But that's kind of like pick your poison. And really it goes back to when they switched us, we just didn't have the juice to really get around them and finish. You know what I mean? Because they really don't give up a ton of threes as well. So it turns into a one-on-one game. And the teams that have success against Montana State, they embrace that switch, which we did too. And you got to go make plays. And we couldn't get by them consistently. But, yeah, the momentum, we had a great start, and then it died. Second half, we had some runs. Every game, I think every game's its own story a little bit, but like Idaho State, we're rolling, right? We're but Weaver State, we're still stuck in the mud. So, yeah, we just got to keep finding it out and figuring it out, but it's definitely a good observation.
Coach, late game press also happened, and you kind of see a fire go within the team.
Yeah.
Of course, it's because they're down. Of course, they need to climb back into this game. Was that something where you started seeing be successful, and was there any point in time where you thought, maybe this would have been better if we started in the beginning of the half, or would it happen sooner, or what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with, especially when you press and you stretch the game to 94 feet, and again, go back to it's your third game in 5 days, and you're asking Danker and Bloch, you're going to play 36, 38 minutes to chase around, it gets really, really taxing. So part of our thing right now is that, we can't stretch ourselves. We don't play 11 guys. We play 7.5, 8 guys, right? So, and then the guys that really get burned on a pressing a 94 feet type situation is your guards, because they're stretched out like crazy. So it's really hard to say, Quinn, press, run around, run the offense, go back. It gets hard. And now, on the flip side, winning's hard. And sometimes we have to do hard things. So I was encouraged that the press looked pretty good. We've had some moments of it. Over the last couple of games, maybe we do need to add some more in to kind of shock the system a little bit. But, we're just trying to figure it all out. We're kind of in the garbage heap trying to figure the whole thing out. So,
Championships are not running in January, Coach, obviously. It's a tough stretch right now. What did you tell you guys and the staff after this game tonight in the locker? What was the message?
Positivity, which it wasn't after Sacramento State. You go back to the Weaver game, you just kind of go back to where we're at. Tough stretch in Montana. Played great against Idaho State. Had the last shot against Weaver State. Don't even get the shot off because we have an offensive foul. It's a 5-second left. Our ball based on a bounce, 2-point game. We don't get a shot off. So that happens. Portland State, we were awesome. We played so dang good. And those guys, I picked them to win the league. And they're 5-0, whatever. They are really good. And we had 3 free throws to tie it. Made 2 of 3. Got the stop. We had the shot to win it. Didn't make it. Great game. Great college basketball game. Felt like a Big Sky championship game. All good. Sac State game, not good. Just unacceptable. We're up 18 with 9 to go. And again, I take the blame on it. But we're up, you have to win that game. And we didn't. And so, tonight's message was positivity and, hey, we're throwing out this 10 games and we got to hit the reset button. But whereas after Sac State, that wasn't the message. Because at some point, you need some truth telling too, right? And so there was some truth telling after that game. But I did think that we showed some signs of life tonight. Again, we're not winning a championship this year in the regular season. We have 6 losses. We're not the team that wins the championship is not going to be 12-6. 13-5, 14-4, 15-3, but it's not 12-6. So we are not winning the championship. And we have to embrace that. That's fine. Maybe all the pressure and all this nonsense of all these mid-major rankings and, people in these guys' ears forever and ever and ever, hey, that can rip you apart too, just in terms of the pressure of it. So, all right, we're in the garbage heap. We're in the dumpster right now. We're in the dumpster. That could be a good thing too, if you don't give up, if you just keep pushing. So, I think the big thing is just saying, hey, look, if you look at I love goals in some ways, but I do think, hey, look, we got to get out of this 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, why do you got to do that? Because if you're 7, 8, 9, 10, you got to win 4 games in Boise. 1 through 6, it's 3 games. That's an attainable goal. But we got to get moving on it, right? Yeah, get 6. Hey, maybe, and I know it sounds crazy because we were 10-3. And literally, we were awesome. But we are 1-6 in the league. Hey, let's get to the 6th seed. if you look at the mound, like the mound will consume you. If you think about, let's have a great practice on Wednesday after tomorrow's off day, and let's find a way to win it in Arizona, okay? And let's just keep chopping this thing apart. We've also had a brutal schedule, play, right? So all the home games are rolling the second half. We got to go back on the road again this week. I don't create schedules, but at some point that will flip, and at some point it'll be even in terms of 3 days preparation versus 3 days preparation, right? Like it's gonna flip, and so we just got to stay the course. But I just believe that we've kind of created this weird empire, and all great empires are destroyed from within. It has nothing to do with Montana State. It has nothing to do with our next opponent. It has nothing to do with It's on us. And if you believe that, you don't have victim mentality. You get to work and you figure it out, and that's what we're gonna do.
To piggyback off the scheduling, coach, not to throw the Big Sky Conference out of the bus here, but do you think maybe if there's a little more of a balance with the schedule, and perhaps it probably won't be as grueling because you just mentioned that you have some traveling things going on with Sac State. Do you think maybe is a little more balance across the league that probably wouldn't be as a grueling stretch for you guys in terms of practice and getting to play?
I thought, I was looking back at the schedule, I thought everyone had these Monday games. We all had it. We don't all. Like, if you go through the schedule, we don't all have Monday games. And that's what stinks, right? It just stinks. I can't remember the rationale why it is, but it is what it is. But, yeah, do I think if we both have the same amount of games before we play, do I think we have a little bit more juice? Sure. I mean, you go back through and watch that film, these dudes were gassed. Like, immediately. 2 minute Brock's like, Coach, man, I need one. Like, and I get it. They play hard. And I'm tired. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so trying to not kill the guys as well, right, knowing that this was going to be a really, really, really hard scenario, and hoping that we could get it done. And we were close. That team's second league. They're 6-1, right? So this is a good team. One shot away. So we just got to keep chopping the wood.
Steve, I haven't seen you guys for a few weeks. And I understand this is the the third game in 5 days, but I think what I don't fully understand is it just looked like you really had to work hard on offense tonight. You probably heard me ask that when you slipped in, and I don't understand why a team with Brock and Zach and Quinn just has to work so hard on offense. Now again, good perspective on the schedule. I wasn't necessarily thinking of that when I was sitting there watching you guys, but I'm wondering if the offense has been an issue through this very, very difficult time.
I think we walked into the game 42nd in the country in effective field goal percentage. Top 50 out of 360 teams. It's pretty good. Turnovers are killing us.
Yeah.
8 turnovers in the first half. So and that is part of it is getting hard, but you go back to it. Dribble the ball off our foot. That happened 3 times in the first half.
Yep.
Got a rebound, threw the ball. I know how to coach. I don't know how to coach that. You know what I mean? Hey, just stay the course. But yeah, it is. But it does go back to 2. The way teams guard you. There's about 5 ways to guard a ball screen. There's 2 or 3 ways to guard an off-ball action. Every for the clinic. You say, well, I'll beat you drawing this up, and then I'll get the pin. I say, well, then I'll counter. I'll beat you with doing this, and we would just be going back and forth. But at the end of the day, you pick your poison, and the poison that Montana State picks is we're going to switch everything, okay, off the ball. Now it is hard for Zach because so much of the stuff we do for Zach is running around screens. It's dead because it's just switch it. There's nothing there, and then again, I'll give him credit, and it's the same scheme they had last year, and they really struggled. They switch everything. We beat them by 50 in the Big Sky tournament. But they do what they do. And we were able to expose it last year. Beat them 3 times. But it's always been hard to score against these guys for us because we're built off of ball screen reads and different coverages. And then I'm really proud of Brock. He went 9 for 11 from 2 tonight. Brock has been struggling. And he was great. And we got to find any creative way to get Brock the ball. And he mentioned it. Part of our issue is our execution, and not really tonight, because there's not as much plays and schemes when they switch everything, but our execution against Sacramento State, horrific. And that was part of the video message. I was like, dude, yeah, we're up 13, but look at this play right here. A year ago, We'll run this play. This guy gets the nail. Quick screening action. Like, just watch the first play in overtime at Sacramento State. The first play. We had Quinn naked for a layup, but as opposed to getting a catch and getting right to him, we got shoved out 7 feet for no reason at all. Now the pass is too long. We got to kind of lob it to him. The art of advantage is over. Now it is hard. Now it's going, rah, like, you know what I mean? So it is, because the execution's been really, really substandard. But tonight it was more so about, like, we're not executing plays tonight so much because they're going to switch it. Now we got to be, you know, we don't have a Langston and get downhill and just take you to the rim and dunk it. We don't have that. Some guys are developing a little bit, but it is a flaw of our team. You know, the way that we're constructed, that we don't have a ton of just kind of that one-on-one ability. We have some, we have enough, but it can get us a little bit stalled out for sure. Good question.
Well, Coach, now that this one is in the books, going forward, now what is now? Everything that you said is pretty much on point, but now what's the next step in this transition? Fight.
So I told dudes yesterday, hey, you know, if you're going to be an adult, if you're going to be a man, you have one or two choices. It's fight or flight. And the softies, they just flight. They just flee away, right? But hey, if you're going to flee away from this is not going to be the hardest thing that you've ever dealt with in your life. Come on, man. Like, basketball, yes, it's about winning and losing, but these are young men that we're trying to develop character. And they do it great. They're great kids. So let's develop some character. Let's fight. You know what I mean? Like, and we've had teams that we've all been on at some point in time, all of us in our lives, teams, groups, whatever. Things get hard, and there's quitters and there's losers. And I don't associate with losers. We don't have a lot of losers on our team. I don't think we have any. So we're going to keep finding ways to win. Like that, we fought tonight. I thought our guys emptied the tank. I thought they fought. A really good team was one shot better than us. And like I can say I'll sleep well. I don't sleep. But in theory, I could sleep well tonight because we really competed. So, but like, yeah, like the other thing is this. I said, guys, nobody cares. Like, you know how happy the teams are in the league? We've been chasing championships for 3 years. We've been the cream of the crop. We were the cream of the crop 3 weeks ago. Like, for like the whole preseason, we're in every mid-major poll. They got to see that Bear logo everywhere. You know how happy these teams are in the league that we're 1-6? So, hey, like, look, embrace it. Just embrace it. But hope eternal that, hey, like the team beat us tonight, Montana State, they went to March Madness 2 years ago with a losing record. Losing record. Coach Oates. I'll give you a Coach Oates story. One of my favorites. Saw her this morning. Volleyball. My daughter plays. So I'm at this thing. I get a chance to see her first game. Coach Oates is there recruiting. Comes over. Hey, man, doing okay? I said, no. But I'll be all right. She's like, you know, it's a lot like my team. Think about it. Open the year, we beat Washington. Whoa. That's like CU for us. Washington. We beat CSU 2 games later. Volleyball. Whoa. Like the 6th year in a row. We're going to be really good this year. Right? They lost 9 of their next 10 games. They were 3-10 going into league. They had a losing record going into the Big Sky tournament and won it. It happens. But give credit to those women, right? Like, give credit. Like, they just did it time. It couldn't have been fun losing 9 out of 10. Because when they beat Washington, man, y'all are going to kill the Big Sky. You just beat Washington. You just crushed CSU. Lost 9 of the next 10 games. I went back through and looked at it today. 9 of 10. But, chop, 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 chop. They didn't win the league this year, did they? Finished second. But they didn't win it because they're not hosting the next year, I don't think.
No,
Third.
No, they didn't win.
They didn't win it.
They didn't win.
But you know what? They got to go dancing because they won a tournament. So that's the thing, is like, I'm not shook at all. I'm disappointed. My guys know how I felt last night when we got back, but I thought we showed some signs of life. And we just got to keep figuring out, you know, what's the right roster rotation, this, that. Like, obviously we changed some things up tonight. There was some good in that. We'll see what it looks like on film. And just keep fighting. Like, that's the life lesson.
And finally, Coach, what's the message to the community around here? Because as you just mentioned, everybody was high on this team early in December, but here we are, it's not even the end of January yet, and this is the position you're in. So what do you tell them? You know, you always want to block the outside noise, but the outside noise, let's be realistic now, it does come in. So as a coach, what do you tell the community around here? Hey,
rock with the Bears, baby. Rock with the Bears. But also, too, I walked into our donor room before. It's packed. It's packed. I said, I appreciate each and every one of you showing up tonight. At the same time as the college national championship. You have every reason to not be here. Watching a football game, we stink right now. There's no reason to be here. And they're all there. Like, literally, there's not enough seats in the place in the champs room for all these people. And I was like, I just appreciate you showing up. Because, like, we're not going to be fair weather. I don't like fair weather fans anyways. And they all showed up. And so, like, hey, stay the course. But, like, also understand, I understand the situation we're in. It's my fault. I'll take it. But we're going to find a way out of it, too. Good question.
Fair enough. Cool.
What's the mindset now? A lot has happened, and it just seems like nothing's catching on right now. Especially, now you guys are 1-6 in the last 7 games.
Yeah.
What's the team's focus? How is it in the locker room? What's going on?
I think when it comes down to it, our team is still connected, and we talked about it before the game. Like, it's just our little bubble, right? So obviously there's not a ton of belief with the record right now from maybe outside fans, but I think we have total belief and faith in our team. I think that we come from a group of guys that have faith in God, and I think that connects us. I think that we have to continue to realize how blessed we are in a time like this where it's not going perfectly, and just kind of just try to back each other up. Our coach mentioned it, that when we splinter is when it starts going downhill, and I think that the guys always have each other's back. It's the most unselfish, fun group of guys I've ever been around. There's no problems. We go to weekly Bible studies together, and I think that, if we stay the course, it'll work out. It's just sometimes, you go through these stretches, and we obviously have stuff to fix, but it's going to come down to us just relying on each other.
100%. And, we have another 11 games left in our season. If I know the guys in the locker room the way I think I do, we're not going out without a fight. We're going to turn this thing around, and we're going to stay connected. We're going to stay confident in our abilities. We're going to continue to work and get better and fix the things that we've been not doing well right now. But like Brock said, we're still a connected group. We still have faith, and that's not going away from, a stretch where we're playing bad and we're struggling. That, we have to rely on the man above, and that's what we're going to do.
What about what did Montana State do today, where it kind of, you guys would pick up, I believe it was in the start of the second half, you guys picked up, maybe you guys went on like a 5 or 7-point run, and then all of a sudden it just went back into the same routine, and then you guys couldn't catch momentum. What was different, or what did Montana State do? Was it something unexpected? Was it something that just wasn't catching on? Talk about that.
I think they're a really detailed team. They don't beat themselves, and they're good. Got to give them credit. They got a connected group of guys right now. They're confident, and they didn't do anything different. I think that where we struggle a little bit right now is to find our rhythm, especially on the offensive end. And, obviously, I would take a blame for that. Just sometimes, if I get tired, I got to flash up to the ball more. Simple things like that. Just kind of got to reflect where we can individually just do better in those moments.
For sure. I think for me, obviously, I got to make my open shots and my easy finishes that didn't fall tonight. There's always things we can look inwards about to fix, and as a unit, I was proud of the way that we fought. I thought we fought really hard. I thought we played really hard. We need to get back to our detail. We need to get back to sharing the ball, getting the right shots. I think that we did that for the most part, but there's another level that we can get to. And just, Montana State's a really good team. So, they're going to do things. They played well. Like Brock said, they don't beat themselves. So we need to figure out how to not beat ourselves right now.
Championships are not won in January, and he just mentioned it's right now a tough stretch for you guys. What was the message to what did the coach say to you guys after this game? What was the message in that locker room?
I think, coming into it off those few losses, we were not playing like we should have. Before the game, he really got on us, and he was like, okay, there's a few things we got to do. One, we got to rebound more. And we did that this game. We got rebounded him by 20. He said, in the second half, we always give up more points than the first. For the most part, we did that 36 and 37 points. So I think he's supportive when he knows that we play hard and we just do what we can. Obviously, there's going to be a lot to fix, and there's going to be a lot of bad stuff on film that we're going to see, but we just got to keep pushing forward is really the message.
I mean, you guys had 12 turnovers as well. I mean, there were a couple down there. I mean, what do you say about the way the ebb and flow of the offense is? Sometimes it might be you guys are in a rhythm and all of a sudden things just hit a roadblock. So, how do you correct those little mistakes?
I think those turnovers come from, playing sporadic sometimes, and we kind of sometimes, think that we got to play a little hero ball maybe, whether it's, driving to the rim like, I got to make something happen, instead of, relying on each other. Maybe it's spitting and chasing the ball, or, maybe it's getting to a ball screen and, just kind of connecting. It's obviously not flowing right now like it should, or maybe it has been in the beginning of the year. That's something we just got to pick up. It's not any one person's problem. It's all of us.
You're getting quality minutes from some of the other guys on the bench, though, so I think that could be the one positive, that when guys get out there, when the numbers call, they do make contributions. So maybe that's a little bit of a shining light here, perhaps, in a game like this.
100%. I mean, you're never as bad as you think you are, and you're never as good as you think you are. So there's definitely still good things that we're doing out on the court. So we need to be able to maintain those. And yeah, I'm super proud of Arik. He came in, applied a spark this game, and all the guys off the bench did. So that was big time.
Sorry guys, I walked in late, but I think one of the things that I noticed is that you really have to work hard on offense right now. It's just a really tough thing, it seems, just from tonight. Is that a legitimate observation, and where's that coming from? I haven't seen you guys for a few weeks, so.
Yeah, it's definitely a legitimate observation. We mentioned it when we were just talking with just the guys at half before Coach came in, and we said, they're getting easy buckets. They're getting some gold medals, and when it came down to it, we felt like we were working really hard for our buckets. And I think that comes from a few things. One is execution. I think when we run plays sometimes, whether guys space out or however, we sometimes don't execute like we should to get the looks that, Coach is setting up for us. And I think that it's also, it's just finding that flow and connectiveness of playing together. I think that we have a mature group of guys, and we know that that's the truth, and we're trying to find ways to solve it.
Zach, do you want to take that as well, if you don't mind? Or?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much my answer would be the exact same as Brock's. That's a good observation. In the first half, like Brock said, we said it at halftime, and I think second half we did get easier looks, just didn't finish them, didn't make them.
Mm-hmm.